Almost a month ago, the Commission of Inquiry, which was formed by the UN Human Rights Council, concluded its report, and they said in a clear-cut, in unequivocal way, Palestinians do have the right of freedom of expression. Palestinians do have the right to have their demonstrations. Nobody have the right to tell them where to do it, whether in the border or in Gaza. These demonstrations for 1 full year in 5 designated areas provided for these peaceful demonstrations were entirely peaceful, and no evidence whatsoever after full thorough investigation by the Commission of Inquiry showed that there was any level of violence has been practiced. Not a single Israeli soldier life has been threatened, and no Israeli soldier was injured or killed in these 5 designated areas where peaceful demonstration took place. But the Commission of Inquiry and all human rights organizations, Human Rights Watch, Amnesty, FIDH, Euromed, Human Rights Network, Palestinian Israeli, that the Israeli did war crimes, crimes against humanity by snipers who saw surely the bodies, faces, the signs of the children they killed, of the women they killed, of the nurses, of the handicapped, of the old and young people who were demonstrating hundreds of meters away from these Israeli soldiers where they didn't pose any sort of threat. So Israel wanted this. Israel wanted to kill and shoot it. Children, nurses, women, the civilians who demonstrated for 1 year almost to say one thing: we cannot tolerate this criminal, illegal, inhuman siege, which considered by international law, by international humanitarian law, by Geneva Conventions, and by the International Court, Criminal Court. It's a crime against humanity, cannot be tolerated. They suffocated us. 13 years, we are unable to move in or out of Gaza. Gaza turned to be the biggest man-made disaster. Due to that, we cannot treat our water. We cannot treat our sewage. We cannot treat our electricity. Israel said 13 years ago, we will send Gaza to the Middle Ages, and they effectively did. People of Gaza disconnected from the outside world. We have 90% of the population under poverty line. 85% of the population shifted to be receiving rations from UNRWA and other charities. There is 65% unpaid or unemployed. This is the biggest man-made disaster. And it's not because we are. So we have one of the highest percent of university graduates in the world. We have no illiteracy. We have a skilled working class. We have very strong business community. But Israel wanted to send us to the Middle Ages, and effectively they did. They said that once and again. Hamas and Jihad Islamic, they are part of us, part of the Palestinian political spectrum. They are part of the resistance against the occupation. After 70 years of Nakba, more than 50 years of occupation, and 25 years of Oslo Accords, nobody talking about end of the occupation. Occupation, a crime of aggression. And the Israeli occupation is not holy. This is a crime and should end. Palestinians deserve dignity and freedom. Israel, instead of that, they are taking Jerusalem. Jerusalem, they ruled it out, and it's theirs. de facto and de jure after serious ethnic cleansing for Palestinians in Jerusalem and the process of Judaization. So they ruled out Jerusalem, and Jerusalem now de facto and de jure not negotiable. West Bank, 70% of it, the Israeli laws are applied in it, in the settlements. And what's left, I mean, almost 30%, and not a single Israeli leader in the last elections said that there will be a Palestinian state in the west of Jordanian River. It's vice versa. All of them said no Palestinian state. Regarding Gaza, it's like animal farm after this criminal, illegal, inhuman siege and suffocation and 3 wars launched in 5 years. And after all these measures against the Palestinian civilians, the Palestinian civilians, they are in the eye of the storm, and they are the target by Israel. If they are targeting Hamas or Jihad or Fatah or PFLP, we as human rights organizations have nothing to do with that, because they are part of resistance. They have rules of engagements to deal with. But when we are talking about bold, clear-cut war crimes, crimes against humanity happening against Palestinian civilians, and they are the ones who are in the eye of the storm.